we need to build and to rebuild our links and our trade with the growth economies of the Commonwealth and of the Pacific Rim, of which, of course, Australia is the leading and the most extraordinary example. And it strikes me that it is completely deranged, therefore, and in conclusion, that we actively discriminate against talented Australians who are seeking employment in our country. And I was making a speech the other day, and I got a letter shoved into my hand, a tragic letter from an Australian teacher called Sally Roycroft, who for 2 years has dedicated herself to kids in Haringey and Tower Hamlets in my town. She's been working very, very hard, she told me, and she told me the results of her labours were that literacy and numeracy had been improved, that attendance in school had increased. She'd done a fantastic job, and yet she'd been effectively kicked out of London. This is someone who speaks English, right? You can't say that of everybody who seeks to come and live and work in London. Who comes from a country with more or less the same sense of humour, pretty much, muscle menos, the same attitude to life, that throughout decades has stood shoulder to shoulder with Britain in grave international crises, yes, without question, and not to mention a country that in 1999 decided to retain allegiance to the same monarch, thanks to the brilliance of the gentleman sitting over there. By the way, I took a bet with the learned professors of Monash on this subject in 1992. We were all sitting around in the bar, and they said that Australia was going, rather as Barry, the Chief Minister, just said just now, Australia was inevitably going to be a republic. It couldn't be stopped. And I thought about it for a second. And the whole problem with that, what's the alternative? Jeremy Clarkson, well, he'd probably rather, sorry, I don't know, no, you wouldn't go for him either, but who would you go for? Who would you go for? Difficult problem. And so I bet this guy $100 that you'd stay with the existing arrangements, and he's never paid up. He never paid up. It's 13 years. But what you expect from a left-wing academic? Anyway,